If your toddler is not listening, it's not because you're too gentle, and it's not because you need harsher consequences. Probably just doing this in the wrong order, and the order matters more than the consequences. Most parenting advice starts with behavior, but behavior is actually the last thing to address. Let's say it's time to leave the park. You ask nicely, your toddler ignores you. You repeat, they run away. You threaten. If you don't come back right now, there's no TV or no dessert tonight. They scream or ignore you. Now it's a power struggle. See, the standard order that most of us were taught on how to deal and get our toddlers to listen was this: behavior, consequence, lecture, frustration. And a dysregulated nervous system, like our toddlers, cannot process teaching. I have found working with parents that consequences make parents feel like they're parenting, but proactive strategies and structures prevents the battle entirely. Consequences are like mopping the floor when the water keeps pouring in. It feels productive. You're doing something. But proactive strategies and structures actually fixes the leak. And once the leak is fixed, there's a lot less for you to mop up. So often we go straight to behavior, but almost no one stops and asks, what state is my child's nervous system in? When kids feel uncertain about what's happening next or how long something will last, their body goes into stress. And stress brains don't cooperate. And this is where my approach is different. And for a lot of thoughtful parents, consequences feel responsible. They feel fair. They feel regulated. They feel like leadership. And compared to yelling or threatening, they are, but they're still reactive. And when you're constantly reacting, you're constantly on. And that's why you feel exhausted. There's a calmer layer above using consequences. Most parents were just never taught. Here's the shift. The right order isn't behavior first. It's this: regulation first, connection second, teaching third, and consequences, if they're still needed, come last. And that might feel backwards for you right now, and that's okay. And if you're realizing this isn't just about one moment with your toddler, if everything keeps turning into a power struggle, I break down that entire pattern in the video that I'm going to link right here. Why everything feels like a power struggle with your toddler. When you reduce uncertainty, the body regulates. When the body regulates, cooperation becomes possible. And that's why I'm showing you guys systems, nervous systems, and behavior, because we're looking at the whole process, the start of it all, the start of the pattern. We're not just reacting to the surface level symptom. This isn't about tricks. It's about conditions. And speaking of conditions, we can set the conditions. We can set the pattern. I'm going to introduce you to something I call CALM, C-A-L-M. The C stands for connection before correction. The A stands for adjust the environment. The L stands for limit overstimulation and uncertainty. And M, model calm and prepare for transitions. Let's quickly go through each one. Okay, connection over correction. This is creating predictable routines emotionally. Emotional connection with your toddler before giving them directions. Establish consistent routines to provide the sense of security with them in how we interact with them. A, adjust the environment. Toddler-proof spaces. Make toys and activities accessible or not accessible. Offer limited choices to give toddlers more autonomy and reduce frustration in the environment. So when I say adjust the environment and limited choices, I'm not saying you're giving a script to them. Do you want this or this? I'm saying already you have given them limited choices in the environment without saying a word. The L for limit overstimulation. Keep clutter, noise, anything overwhelming to a minimum, creating a calm, structured, and focused environment. And the M for model calm and prepare for transitions. This is how we demonstrate calm behavior proactively. And we give advance notice using different proactive strategies like timers or visual cues for smooth transitions to reduce potential tantrums. And it also helps your toddler with independence and not relying on you verbally telling them what to do every step of the way. So when we use calm, this reduces uncertainty. And when uncertainty drops, the power struggles drop. Let me give you two real life examples here. One to do with car seats and another to do with cleaning up an activity that was fun, maybe like playing with Legos or something like that. The car seat example. Wrong order. Get in now to the car seat or no iPad. Here's the right order. I'm not going to go deep into explaining why this is because I feel like that's even for another video, but pause, lower the voice, acknowledge if needed. Sometimes that's not needed. I know leaving is hard. Then shift the energy. Let's see who can get in the fastest. I bet you can't beat my countdown from 5. This is not bribing. Those strategies are shifting the nervous system for resistance to playful engagement. And that's actually why that works. It works with my twin toddlers all the time for getting into their car seats. For some older toddlers, collaboration can become even more powerful, depending on the development of your child and what they can handle. Do you want to get in and I buckle you? Or do you want me to lift you up, you buckle yourself? Or do you want me to lift you in and you buckle yourself? The seat isn't optional. The power struggle is. This is proactive strategies and structure. You're preserving the boundary when giving the nervous system agency. Example 2, cleaning up. Wrong order. Clean this up or you lose TV. Clean this up or you lose dessert. Right order. Break it down. Let's pick 3 cars to put away. Do you want to start with the blocks or the stuffed animal? That's it. You're not bribing, you're scaffolding. This is skill and proactive strategies teachers use all the time in the classroom. And don't get me wrong, I've done this too, especially with twins when everything feels chaotic. Sometimes it's the fastest way to get movement by using threats, like you're going to take something away or they're going to lose something. But fast doesn't mean foundational. This is what I've learned to shift to instead, is a pivot. So if you need to pivot from threatening because it's the easier thing to do in the moment and it's hard not to do it, which I just said I totally understand and get as a twin mom. So instead of saying I'm going to take the TV or the dessert away or the iPad away or this or that, pivot it to this, shift it. Even if you're mid-sentence in the threat, shift it and pivot it with this. We're working towards TV tonight. You can say it as a statement. If your toddler is good at handling it, you could phrase it as a question. Are we working towards the TV tonight? Are we working towards XYZ? This reminds them privilege comes from cooperation, without threatening, without taking away, without escalating. It's the same boundary, but it's delivered through structure, not fear. And here's something that hit me recently. When I threaten right away to get compliance for my kids, it's not just speeding things up. I'm teaching my kids to wait for escalation. I'm skipping their chance to practice choosing cooperation. And that practice, that's where listening skills are built. That's intrinsic listening. When we structure proactively, we reinforce the listening loop. Now, this isn't permissive parenting. It isn't reward or bribe based, and it's not control based. This is nervous system literacy. Threatening, bribing, and forcing apologies are transactional. Leadership is collaborative. Consequences that work are natural and more quiet, but they only work after regulation. If you want a toddler that listens long-term, you don't start with control. You start with regulation. Most parenting advice tries to fix the moment. I help parents change the pattern the moment came from. This shifted how you see your toddler's behavior. Subscribe for more nervous system parenting strategies. And if power struggles keep on repeating, watch the next video where I break down systems creating that very power struggle loop. All right, parents, I'll see you in the next video.